I literally got body dysmorphia. Here I am to tell my story.
Yeah, I just wanna feel you. I want you around.
Hey y'all, this is Brittney Giselle and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, like and comment down below, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that every time I upload, you'll be the first to know. Y'all, thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Today we are talking VSG. This is the first time that I'm actually going to be talking about this topic on my channel, and I'm super excited to share with you all because it's something that I've always been like a little nervous to share in many different ways. But today I am here. I am open to all questions. So if you have any questions as I'm going through the video, definitely make sure that you drop them down in the comments below. So I'm here to share my story with y'all and eventually talk about whether or not I regret getting VSG. I was too scared to tell my story during my process. And I forgot to mention that earlier, but I actually went to YouTube a lot. Like, YouTube was my best friend when it came to doing research, to seeing other people's. And although I was too nervous and too scared to share mine, I am here to kind of like go back in hindsight a little bit and speak on some things and also my experience afterwards and then moving forward. So I'm here now. But before we get started, in the VSG community, we are big on stats. Okay, that's something that everyone wants to know about and is eager to, know other people's stats. Let me give you my stats. And also I'm going to be looking at my notes because I cannot remember all of this off the top of my head. My starting weight was 297 and that was recorded on August 20th of 2015. So that's actually when I started my process. That's the first day that I went to Healthy Weight and Management here locally where I live. And that's the weight that was recorded. I have photos from that day. Also throughout this process, I will be inserting photos to give you a visual. That was my starting weight. I feel like at some point my weight was definitely higher than that, but that is like the highest weight that I have recorded. The program that I completed, my insurance made it so that I had to go through the program for 6 months. I know some people have done like 3-month programs or maybe even shorter. I'm not exactly sure, but I heard that it is dependent upon the insurance and the individual. And if it's out of pocket, then that is something that may differ for some people. But for myself, my insurance covered it, and I had to be in the program for 6 months prior to getting the surgery done. My surgery date was March 21st, 2016. So y'all, my surgery is coming up, okay?
Okay, we're in the process. She's walking. Look at how she's looking already. She lost 30 pounds.
It is going to be 6 months since I got my surgery. Like, that's crazy to me. So surgery date, weight. So after the 6 months, remember I started at 297. After 6 months, I went in for surgery and I was 259. During the 6-month pre-op, I lost a total of 38 pounds on my own. That was from working out, eating healthy, and then also from going on a liquid diet prior to the surgery. So that, all of those over time, all of those different things that I implemented made me lose 38 pounds on my own. So that was big. That was huge because I was scared that I wasn't going to lose anything. And then I'm going to be talking about this particular thing a lot, but my lowest weight was 186, and that was recorded on January 12th of 2017. So that was about a year, almost a year after surgery, not even a whole year. I was down 186 pounds. So that was a total of 111 pounds lost. Y'all, that is a big difference. And I know there are some people that have lost a lot more, but for me, that was huge. That was dramatic, traumatic, all of that, mentally, physically. Like, this process definitely takes a toll on you in many different ways. And yeah, it's definitely been an experience for sure, like a huge experience. So I'm going to go backwards a little bit and I want to talk about why I got the surgery, why I decided to result in getting weight loss surgery. So my biggest reason was my son. It's crazy because I will never ever forget the story, and when anyone asks me why, like, this is always like my definite answer. is because one time, I don't remember how old he was, but it had to have been, I'm pretty sure it was in 2014. We went to an amusement park. We went to Sesame Place. And we were having fun. We were enjoying ourselves, you know, it was just me and him. We stayed overnight. We were going 2 days, having a good time. We got to a part in our day, a ride that he wanted to go on. I remember exactly which ride it was. Like, I remember the kind of ride that it was, and I couldn't get on the ride. I was like, I went on, but I was too big to fit in the ride or to get the seatbelt on. And that was devastating. That really threw me for a loop. And I'm like, wow, like I can't even enjoy. And it was for his birthday. It was a birthday celebration. So I'm like, wow, I can't even enjoy myself and my son and celebrate his birthday properly. And we know he didn't know. It didn't bother him. But to me as a parent, as a mom, it bothered me so much. So at that point, I was like, I need to take action. I need to change my ways. Overall, my health was good. I didn't have any health issues. I've always had asthma since I was younger, but it's become like mild asthma as an adult, which I'm very thankful for. And besides that, like I didn't have any like major issues. I've always had anxiety and depression. I also deal with PCOS, but like I didn't have high blood pressure. I didn't have diabetes, things of that sort, like any heart issues. I did have issues with my back hurting a lot, like a lot of lower back issues. So that was definitely one. But like internally, I didn't deal with other things. So I didn't see it as a problem. I was at like the most confident that I could be. And in that very moment, like shut me down all the way down. It said, we're going to take it down a couple notches because you were a little too comfortable. And then that's when I started looking into different things, talked to my family doctor about it, if that was a possibility. They sent me to healthy weight management and bariatric surgery. I didn't go in there with the thought of getting surgery. I just wanted to know, you know, get some information. And it's actually a program. You go in, you have to go through like an initial like an informational meeting. So like you would go in, you know, they'll share some basic information, things like that. You had like a Q&A with the doctors at the end. The doctors came and talked like the actual surgeons. So it was pretty cool. And then after that, if it's something that you were interested in doing, then you would have to sign up, you know, start the program, see if your insurance covered it, things of that sort. And I started going through the process. That was in August of 2015. So I started going through that process. Let's see, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. Yes. Okay. So that makes sense. So I started in August. So if you think forward, 6 months later would be February, but I got my surgery in March. That's because I had a little hiccup. Your girl caught strep throat right in the middle of doing my liquid diet. And so my surgery has to get postponed, and it went into March. And I had to do liquid diet twice, y'all. It was hard. It was hard for me, but I did it. All right, moving on. One thing I wanted to mention was that there are many requirements. You have to be ready to do a lot of different things, a lot of steps. I have been in different situations in life that I had to be very organized. I had to stay on top of appointments, like many appointments. And this was honestly like, at that point in time in my life, this was like the most like intimidating and so many things to do. And even though I'm good at being organized and being on top of my shit, like this was just so much to take in. It was really, really life-changing. And you have to mentally be there in order to take the step, which takes me to the point of, I'm not sure how it works other places, other states, other countries, but for myself here, we had to go through a psychological evaluation, and they need to know, like, are you mentally, you know, ready to take the step to do all of these things, ready for changes. And I actually had to, after the psych eval, they decided that I needed to do some therapy. So I actually started doing therapy, and that's actually, I stayed with that therapist afterwards because I was really comfortable with her and I enjoyed it. But besides therapy, there were support groups. You had to go through lab tests, of various different tests. And if like let's say if your numbers came low for one test and you had to go for another test, like a lot of different things that you have to go through. So for mine, going through the process in mine, remember I mentioned earlier, I didn't have any health issues, but I did actually have an underlying health issue I knew nothing about, that like nothing in my life, or that doctors, I had told doctors really kind of like ring a bell for them to check this, and that was my thyroid. So going through this process, luckily I found out that I have an underactive thyroid, and that had to be treated and be back to normal levels before going through my surgery. So that was another thing that kind of came into play with it. But yeah, I found out I knew nothing. Never in my life did I hear about, you know, thyroid issues. Like I didn't know what it was. I had no idea. I was never educated on it. And as a woman, this is something that a lot of women go through. So it was really interesting to me that I had never heard of this. Like, I was like, it like really baffled me, because I'm like, what? Like, what is this? What? Where did you make this up? Never did I hear of it. So it was interesting to learn about it, and really to go through the process of linking the symptoms to the things that were happening in my life. Like, wow, not only is it like the levels, because it's something that, you know, I didn't know I had it. So once I started doing my research, like always being tired and fatigued, not being able to lose weight, all of those things made sense. So had I not considered getting weight loss surgery, who knows at what point my thyroid could have, you know, gone really, turned and went really, really bad. And then I would find out in such a terrible situation. I was very grateful that I went through that process, because I was able to find that out and be on top of it at, you know, I guess kind of early, because who knows what could have happened. I don't know. It could have ended bad. So one of the reasons why I actually decided to make this video is because I want to talk about something that not a lot of people in the VSG community talk about, or at least that I haven't heard talk about. I wanted to put my story out there and let it be known that it is okay to want to lose weight for whatever reasons you may have. So I wanted to lose weight because, you know, I wanted to be able to go on rides and live life, like have a longer life, things like that. Like I didn't want it to catch up with me in a worse way later on. So I wanted to try to prevent it, right? But also going through that process, I knew, and I was very scared of losing too much weight and not liking the image that it gave me, the way that I would look. And to be honest, that's exactly what happened. Like I already knew it. I have never aspired to be skinny, to be thin. Like I had just gotten to a place in my life where I was like extremely comfortable with and confident with who I am, you know, the way that I looked, the way that I carried myself, like all of that. Like going through my teenage years, it was hard, but as an adult, I had come into a place that I was good. And then, you know, that situation happened at the amusement park that shut me down. But besides that, like I never aspired to be skinny. Like that's just why. I don't understand why society puts that pressure on us, but they do. Nonetheless, that's a conversation for another day. I was really scared of being too skinny. And that's essentially what happened. I got to my lowest weight, which I mentioned earlier was 186 pounds. And to some that may not be small, but like, you know, if you see the difference, I had lost 111 pounds going down to 186. I felt disgusting. I literally got body dysmorphia. I was completely not in love with myself, not feeling confident. Did it feel good to like slowly lose weight and change sizes, things like that? Yes, because I started something with a result that I wanted to lose weight, and seeing it was nice. It was very I appreciated that change was coming, but I couldn't slow down the weight loss. And that was the hardest part. That's something that I honestly do not hear people talk about, and how they feel is that you can't slow down the weight loss. So once you have that tool and, you know, your body is changed internally for it to change externally, which is losing weight, You can't control how much your body loses, and that was very hard for me. So I got to a point and I talked to my doctor about it, and I was very honest. I said, I do not like this. I don't like the way I look. I'm not used to it. When I look in the mirror, I feel disgusting. The loose skin didn't help it either. And I expected and anticipated the loose skin happening, but it was just so much at once. So it was like a shock, and I was not happy. Along with other things in my life going on, I was just all over the place. And yeah, that situation didn't make life any easier. So I ended up getting back into bad habits. I let go of my, constant walks. I let go of me eating healthy, my protein shakes, all of that, because I wanted to purposely gain some weight back. Some. Like I said earlier, you have a tool, you can't control it, how much you lose. I can control what I eat and if I exercise and things like that. But then again, with my thyroid, I got to a point in my life where I didn't give a shit. I just wanted to gain something back. And I let go of a lot of different things. And now here I am, almost 6 years later, talking about, I don't know, it's been really hard. It's been a very rocky experience, because it's like I wanted to lose weight to be healthy, but then I lost too much. And it's just like this ball that's like bouncing back and forth. Now I gained back too much because I feel uncomfortable, which is why I started working out. I've talked about this in my vlogs. And so I want to lose some, but in my head, as I'm working out, as I'm eating healthy, I'm like, I pray that I do not lose as much as I did before. And now it's like I'm not losing anything. But that's also because of my thyroid. I wasn't taking care of it, so that obviously plays a huge part. But there are so many things, so many variations of things that we can go through. Like, everyone's story is completely different. But yeah, that was like my main thing, is like I wanted to come on and say I don't regret the surgery. I don't at all. I just wish, and I have big wishes, I wish that it was something that we could control a little bit more. It's out of my hands, I know that. But if I could have an end all be all, I would have make it so that there's a way you can control it a little bit more. But yeah, mentally, it's something that's very straining, no matter how much therapy you do, things like that. Like, I really thought I had done the work. But all the work that I did didn't prepare me for the confidence that I lost with the weight loss. Like, I know to some people it might sound crazy, like, girl, you lost weight, you should feel good. I felt good, like, physically, I could move and, maneuver, things like that. But mentally, when I looked in the mirror, I felt terrible, because it's not what I was used to. It's not what I wanted. And another thing is, when we lose weight, we can't control where we lose the weight. The weight goes wherever it wants. So when I say I had lost too much weight, I lost weight in inches. So my body was going in, and I was just like, what is happening? Like, that is not what I wanted. When I started losing weight, I did a lot of crunches, sit up, a lot of ab work. I wanted my belly to go, because that's where, unfortunately, I gained most of my weight. It's like in my stomach. Girl, I was going in, but my stomach, was like, my stomach had went down significantly, but it was still there. Like, I still had a fupa. Like, it was just, I would have had to have skin removal. All in all, I do not regret it. Anyone that ever seeks information, that is questioning whether it's something that's right for them or not, I would say, talk to your doctor. Your doctor will lead you in the right path to talking to weight loss surgeon, doctor, whoever it is in your area, because it is something that needs to be thoroughly investigated. Like, you need to do your thorough research. Everyone's situation varies. There are people that have had to, get their sleeping patterns in place because they have sleep apnea or thyroid, high blood pressure, so many different things. Not everybody faces the same thing. And then it depends on your weight. People think, well, I'm overweight, so I can get the surgery. And no, you have to be overweight based on BMI, but you also have to have at least 1 or 2 underlying medical conditions. Like, it's just so vast that it's just, you have to see a medical expert to get those answers and figure out if it's something that's right for you. But it is also, besides that, it's a lifetime commitment between vitamins, making sure you get your protein intake, any other medications that you may have to take. It is so much. Support groups are very important, and I want to say, just be kind to yourself. I knew the tears would come, but it's something that you literally, like, you can have ups and downs with it. So the biggest thing that I want you to take away from this is to be kind to yourself, because no one else is experiencing your life except for you. So if this is something that you decide to do and you want to make that change, go for it. Just be prepared for it to be a roller coaster of different things, emotions, changes, like schedule, like just so many things that have to come with it. Yeah. If anyone ever wants to talk about their either experiences that they're going through or have any questions that I can possibly help with, I am open to all questions, conversations about it. I am also thinking about making it a series to talk about other, like I said, other underlying like subcategories of it. I've experienced hormonal, acne, so many different things that our bodies change, and it's just like, wow, like what is, like, I didn't expect this. Your body and how like it reacts to different temperatures, because that was something big that happened to me. Mental health, other health issues that arise or go away, hair loss, vitamins, gallbladder issues. There's so many different things that I experienced, so that's something that I'm interested in continuing to talk about with you all. If you're interested in that, please make sure that you comment that down below so that I know it's something that you would like to hear from me or that you're interested in hearing about. I appreciate you all so much for watching this video, for wanting to hear out my story, my experiences, and just for taking the time out to be on my channel. I truly appreciate you all so much. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like and comment down below, hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Next we have Brittney. Brittney starts off with the quote, "You are the only person who can truly change your life." My weight loss journey by far is the one I hold closest to my heart, along with many other accomplishments. Since beginning my journey in August of 2015, I have lost over 100 pounds. Facing much fear and anxiety, I did this to become healthier for myself and ultimately live a long and fulfilling life with my son. I recognize that with every success story comes struggles, whether it's choosing protein shakes over Dunkin' Donuts or squats over Netflix. I am strong and will continue to persevere through my journey, and my motto is